I stumbled upon it. Um, I uh, I grew up in Western Pennsylvania. Went to college out there. It was the '70s. IE was not a big focus or prominent, and I had been an English major. I was looking for an English teaching job. When suddenly I saw that they were advertising for teachers for the Pennsylvania Department of Education Vietnamese and Cambodian refugee camp, where there were 25,000 refugees. They were setting up high schools for the high school students. They needed young teachers willing to come in. They trained us quickly on how to teach ESL, and I did that for about 6 to 7 months, and it changed my life. After that, I went to Peace Corps, and they say Peace Corps is the hardest job you'll ever love. But for me, no, it was that experience working with the Vietnamese and Cambodian students who are getting placed around the country. And we needed to quickly not just give them English skills, but give them skills to help them to adapt and understand what they were going to experience in high school. And after that, Peace Corps, and after that, just launching myself into IE. And I feel so fortunate because it did change my life. I think that over time, now that I'm older, it's really mentoring staff, right? In terms of a day-to-day professional development with individuals and seeing them launch their careers. For 18 years, I was at the Institute of International Education. And there I headed a team where we worked on placements for about 2,300 international sponsored students, mainly Fulbrighters, where we placed them in U.S. Graduate programs, masters and PhDs. And one of the things I'm really proud of was sort of developing talking points and helping individuals from around the world to realize the breadth of U.S. institutions that we have, to get them to focus on fit, that there's more than just 20 schools, to really talk about why academic fit was so important, especially at the graduate level. And also we raised what we call cost sharing. It was a partnership with the U.S. schools to help us bring these sponsored students here to the U.S. And so I would say that's something I'm really proud of. My last position, it was at World Education Services, where I was asked to come in and set up a new department that focused on policy, knowledge, and data, and how one looks at using their data and their knowledge to inform the policies moving forward. And I'm really happy with creating that and the wonderful people that I got to work with at WES. I think that it's just the advancement of the concept of the need to internationalize, especially in the U.S., to internationalize the campus, to internationalize the curriculum, that it's not enough just to bring students or faculty or scholars, researchers over, but to really try and attempt to integrate them, and that movement now towards globalization, and that this is a global higher ed community. It's been dramatic in my career. And the other thing too, and I have a daughter now who's 25, and so in high school and college, to see her and see her friends, see as part of their college curriculum, and even high school, they had opportunities that you need to go abroad. You need to experience new cultures, that you need to put yourself out there and make yourself a little bit uncomfortable. And again, when I was her age and growing up, that just wasn't, on the agenda as much. So I think that's exciting that with younger folks, the understanding that it's a critical part of their education and also very important for their careers. I think that I had a unique and very special opportunity, again, while I was at IIE, on behalf of Department of State. We organized a series of 7 higher education workshops in Iraq. It was and they were held in Erbil in the Kurdish region, but rectors, presidents, their designees from Iraqi universities across Iraq would come. There was a large Department of State funded scholar rescue program in the early 2003 and after, and the idea was to bring those scholars back to Iraq to reunite with their colleges. And we also brought in experts from across the U.S. to come and talk about higher ed in the 20th and the 21st century, and sort of capacity building. And to see these individuals come together to talk about higher education, to talk about advancement, to talk about, expanding opportunities, that to me was an aha moment. It was like, hey, this really does make a difference. I think it's again advancing that idea of globalization, of collaboration, of cooperation. And I see that obviously happening in leaps and bounds. And again, to really encourage students, because again, while we have more students studying abroad than ever before, we still have a long way to go, to really encourage students to see that part of your education and part of your responsibility is to become a global citizen. And that, all the gains and the value you have from that, anywhere from building a resume, but really that professional development and also the sense of independence and resiliency that you gain from that. I think that I'm hoping that in my lifetime I'm going to see those study abroad numbers go up dramatically, and for students to come back and be real spokespersons for what they've learned and how they've developed and the friendships that they've built. Well, I think right now, today in the field, it's to keep heart. We're facing a number of challenges in the U.S. and to keep hope. There have been a number of changes, dramatic changes, a number of challenges over the years that we've dealt with and we've overcome, and will continue to overcome. So it's a keep hope, keep heart, and keep advancing and doing the good work that everyone does.